Welcome back on Gaming. This is Devin, and Apple finally showed off their VR system, and now, of course, there's going to be another piece of VR out there. But of course, it's going to be a little bit different, just because Apple does a great job at sort of taking what's out there already, amplifying it, and then, of course, getting their Apple fanboys to buy it or sort of normalizing it for people. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens with their VR system. And of course, I do think they do a pretty decent job at supporting their devices like this at launch. And even though it is 3,500 with that high price tag, yeah, it'll be very, like I said, interesting to see what happens with this VR system. But the reason why I'm sort of talking about this is just because looking at everything about this and then going back to looking at the PSVR2, it's just a shame just because it's sort of some of those features would have been really cool on PSVR2. I would say things such as being able to see what's right in front of you, maybe having a couple cameras in front of you, seeing where you're going in that, just because it is a bit of a pain in the butt to go ahead and take it off or have it halfway up just to see where you're going in that. That'd be a very good idea. And then also the other thing is that with like the Apple VR thing is that it shows so many different things that you can do with it. You're not just tied to one thing. You can talk to friends, you can, watch TV, all those kinds of things, and just, dealing with your Apple products. So a lot of that stuff is pretty cool. And I think it'd be a very good idea if, somehow they can put something more into this PSVR 2 because, just having games on it isn't going to do it unless if they maybe opened it up to anybody being able to develop for PSVR 2, but I don't think that's going to be happening, anytime soon. But yeah, I mean, just looking, at both of those there, I do sort of think that with this new VR device being shown, and I mean, I'm not a pro on VR systems or that. I mean, Apple's, I would say, would be probably one of the other ones that, I've seen a lot of information on, seen a lot of funny memes on it as well. But of course, just seeing some of the things that does and looking at that PSVR 2, I mean, it is a real shame. And, with the PSVR 2, there's maybe a couple games that have come out. They're basically doing the same thing that they did to the PS Vita, to the PS VR by, not really supporting it that much after launch. They're really just doing it, with the third party developers and such. I mean, the only thing that I really see that sort of appealing is sort of Gran Turismo, just because it makes it seem very real in that. Like you are really driving the car. And then also the Jurassic Park kind of thing, which has existed in VR for a while there, but still looks really cool in that. But yeah, I mean, there's just nothing really out there on PSVR 2. During their showcase, they talked for about 10 minutes. I almost thought that they were going to go the whole presentation without showing it midway in, but I mean, they're just not really doing much with that. I mean, it's amazing to sort of think about it because like it's sort of like, why did they even create this device? They they came out with devices like PSVR, I mean PS Vita, that they barely supported. Then a lot of third parties supported after a while, and then they sort of washed their hands of it. Then of course PSVR 1, I don't really think that was really successful. There wasn't really anything on there that you needed to play. I bought a PSVR 1, but didn't buy the second one just because of how I barely used it. But yeah, I mean, I, I I don't really think that this is going to help PSVR in any way. I recently did do a poll asking if this is going to affect it in any ways. A lot of people think no, but I still sort of think that it is going to affect it just because, like I said, I mean, there's a lot of things that device can do that this one cannot do. And by knowing what that one can do, even though it is 3,500, but I mean the PSVR is still pricey as well. You have to have a PS5 and then put $600 on top of that. So they're both very pricey just in general. But yeah, anyways, let me know in the comments below what you think. Do you think that, with all these VR devices being out here, that this is going to, just make it worse for PSVR2? Do you think it's going to be better? Let me know in the comments below. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and we'll see you soon. Bye.